There are three different kinds of people in this world. Those who will help you, those who will hurt you, and those who don't really make a difference. In this video, we're going to help you identify who those people are in your life, and we'll also be going over how the power of association, that is, who we spend our time with, can either help propel you forward or maybe holding you back. Welcome back to Victory with Sheldon and Leah. We are so glad you're here with us today.
Absolutely. And if you find value in this video, I want you to go ahead and think about subscribing, hit the bell icon so you don't miss any of our future uploads.
Before you make your next coffee date or go out to lunch with someone, be sure to watch this video to the end so you can be sure that you're spending your time with people that are going to help you propel forward and not hold you back.
So this is a very interesting subject that we're going to be discussing today, and I think it's possibly maybe top 2 or 3 hindrances, I would say, to people kind of really going forward in their journey of, I mean, if you're starting your own business, you know, your entrepreneurial journey, or, you know, whatever kind of way you're trying to reinvent yourself. You know, it's a new year, and it's hard to just kind of let that pass by and just like, well, I'm just going to drag over, you know, whatever I was going through last year kind of a thing. So if you've been tracking along, you've got your why figured out, right? Kind of your reason for wanting to change. You've got your goals written down, some really solid goals, and you connected that with some non-negotiables, and you related that back to your why. So now we're going to help you cross over what could be sort of a minefield for you, depending on where you've been up to this point, or even, you know, something that's very positive for you. And we're going to help you be intentional about how you decide to spend that time going forward. So stick around. It's a good video, but there are some hard pills to swallow, let's say, later on in this video. So we'll do like a quick little trigger warning or something. But emotionally mature people are, I believe, that's who we're talking to here anyway. So hard pills, we can swallow them, no biggie. All right. And so for associations, we've already kind of discussed this. We've broken it down into 3 categories. I just feel like I remember things better in 3s, so just deal with the 3 categories. It's going to be 3 categories here. And the first one is going to be your VIPs. We'll call it VIPs for the sake of this. This is very important people, right? These are going to be the kind of people that you want to associate with, right? For those of you guys that kind of like the 80-20 rules or whatever, this is where these are kind of people that are going to be responsible for 80% of the production, 80% of the progress, sort of in your mentality, in your life. These are the kind of people these are the kind of people you're gonna want to spend like the lion's share of your time with, because they're going to be adding value, they're going to be inspiring you, things of that nature. So things that are really important, I think, beneficial, basically, is what we're saying here. So when it comes to the VIPs, I would say, as a rule, you don't necessarily have to like these people, right? These aren't necessarily, understand what I'm saying here, these aren't necessarily the guys where, hey, it's Friday, we're bored, you know, let's go watch the game, right? Like, we're just gonna sit down and talk about nothing. So you don't necessarily have to like these people, right? Like, I think of a guy, David Goggins, who's, you know, a national treasure, right? But he's really hardcore and like level 10 intense, if not level 100 on a scale of 1 to 10, intense about like literally everything he talks about. Good to listen to, very inspiring, but, you know, hey man, let's go watch a football game. It's not happening, right? Like, you're gonna feel bad about yourself before you leave. So, you know, you just kind of categorically, you got to kind of be able to separate these people. So your VIPs, they can be mentors, they can be friends, they can be coaches, they can be, you know, business partners, other entrepreneurs that you know that are that have attained some level of success that you would like to see duplicated, you know, in your own life. So that's kind of your VIPs. That's your top category. Those are your high producers, those high value individuals, those people that can inspire and motivate and all those beautiful things. It really keep you, I would say, on the right path.
Next, we're going to be talking about the VGP. That's the very good people. Now, these are the kind of people you just like being around. They're not draining. They're typically giving people. By the time that you're done hanging out with them, you just feel better than when you did when you started.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, and these are friends. These are good friends. They're probably supporters of you. Like, you feel comfortable. And you can kind of categorize people as we talk. You already know who these people are. You've probably already told them about your goals for the year, kind of how you want to start your own journey doing whatever it is. And they're receptive to it, right? They're not necessarily, oh, hey, what can I do, you know, gung-ho to help you out? But they check up on you and make sure you're genuinely okay, right? You know, there's fair value exchange, but they're not necessarily headed in the exact same direction, but they're not going to keep you from going in the same, in whatever direction that you want to go. They're usually pretty emotionally mature people. They're not bringing you all their problems, kind of a thing. You know who these people are, right? I mean, even if you're tracking along, making notes, right? Just write down VIP, somebody, you know, that you would consider a coach or a mentor or whatever, and you can put the VGP, you know, a very good person. Probably going to be a good friend. Maybe not. Maybe it's a parent or something, you know, after you move out and you finally start getting along. That happens sometimes. And then, you know, they kind of move into more of a friendship role, or, you know, somebody who's kind of outside of your immediate circle that you can kind of go to and be re-energized by. So, yeah, generally they're good for the ego. So take it in doses, right? Like, you don't want to, you don't want a cult following, like somebody just following you around like, oh, everything you do is amazing. So, but your VGPs, it can go that way. So you got to be careful. Take it in doses, but overall, they're not really going to make a difference left or right of your business, of your, you know, whatever those goals were that you're written down, kind of where you want to be in 10 years, 5 years, next month. Generally speaking, they're not going to be a huge factor either way. All right, and so finally we get to the harder pill to swallow, what I think is a big time hindrance as far as getting from where you are to where you want to be. Yeah. Because you're not necessarily aware that this is happening until probably it's too late. It's a lot tougher, I would say, to correct this. So you want to be careful. You always, I mean, we're in the people business. If you're in any business, you're in a people business to some degree. And you want to treat relationships, you don't want to be cavalier with them, right? You want to, but at the same time, your why, whatever you have for your why, is probably a little bit more important than sparing everybody's feelings that you meet along the way. At some point, you know, tough pill to swallow, right? At some point, you got to be like, hey, look, my why, my family, whatever your why is, for me, you know, my family, and, you know, got a little 9-month-old who's taking a power nap right now so we can shoot this video. Giving him the life that I never had growing up is more important than, you know, Joe Blow's feelings, you know, who probably really don't get along too much in the first place. So,
now, that's not to say that we're just gonna, like, hurt someone's feeling. It's more like, hey, come watch football with me.
I can't.
I can't. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I can't. And eventually they kind of figure out, these are the people that say, hey man, you changed once you're successful. They probably talk about you behind your back while you are doing your thing. And then, you know, a few years later, yeah, I used to know that guy. You know, we played ball together back in, you know, Sure. So this last one is the VDP. Okay. Very draining people. These are people that we'll call dream stealers. They're negative, right? They complain, but they're not really looking for solutions, right? Even if your service or business that you have started offers direct solutions to what it is they're complaining to you about, they still say, nah, they're still frustrated, right? It's almost like they're bothered by the fact that you are doing something different. And it's a weird energy. You know who those people, you already know who they are. Don't kid yourself. You can already write the names down. You know some of these people, right?
If you're a counselor, you probably make 90% of your money off of these people because they just keep coming over because they just want to vent.
They just want to vent.
And
right?
They won't take any of your advice.
They're not going to take any of your advice, and they're going to have a perfectly polished excuse as to why they didn't. Something came up, or, you know, oh, yeah, whatever. You get the point, right? Not to, you know, just beat the dead horse, but I think you get the idea here. So quick to complain, slow to listen, tend to be self-centered, very self-centered. Yeah, so they're not necessarily solution seekers, so we kind of touched on that already. And they don't want you to be either. This is the guy probably, you know, at work who likes to complain about, he's talking politics around the clock. He's very emotionally invested in everything that he can't change. And the things that he does have power over, he finds a way to shift the blame to something that to somebody else, right? He's just a victim of life. He's a victim of everything that's happened to him, his childhood, you know, childhood trauma. Not to make light of it, but that's like a catchphrase now that we use as a crutch instead of facing those things head on and being like, hey, you know what? Let me see what I can do about it.
Right.
You know, you can have two kids grow up in the same household with horrible parents. One of them be a success and the other one be, by all accounts, a failure. Right. And you can ask both of them, hey, why are you a success or why are you a failure? And they have the same answer. My parents. Yeah. One would choose to learn from their parents' mistakes, right? The wisdom is being able to learn from somebody else's mistakes. Whereas the other person just, you know, used that as a crutch to kind of hide behind. So here's where it kind of gets tough too, right? Because the VDPs, the vast majority of them are like, if you're being really critically thinking about this, probably your best friend, it's probably a family member, a parent, a sibling, somebody that you're probably really close to, but you got close to that person when you were sort of in a bad spot, when you weren't necessarily trying to make those changes that you want to see made. I think that's probably why you're watching this video. I mean, why else? I mean, there's sports channels galore, there's video game streams, all this other stuff, but you're on YouTube watching a couple of, you know, young entrepreneurs kind of give out some pointers that we've learned through experience. So it's really important to be able to identify those people. A lot of times, a lot of these VDPs are in a very close circle to you one way or another. So it's being able to figure out, and I guess we'd almost have to do a whole other video on that because we don't want to go on too long with this one.
Comment below if you'd be interested in us talking more about this subject.
And because it's very important, because dream stealers, they're out there. They're going to be critical of you. You know, you're never going to please everybody, but having those people that are so close to you or wherever they may be in your life, I was very fortunate. My family is very supportive of, you know, our entrepreneurial journey and everything, and, you know, pretty good customers and, you know, give us referrals and the whole deal. So it's made that transition very easy for us in that regard. And then my personality type makes it a lot easier to sort of cut people out when they are damaging or when they're, you know, they're not adding value to what I think is valuable. Good or bad, I mean, it helps for me, but it's not that easy for everybody, and we understand that. We totally get that, but it is absolutely necessary. Find out who those VDPs are, write them down, and then you got to make a plan. Even if you got to go back to the previous video and setting up maybe some kind of goal, some kind of structure, you got to figure out how you're going to cut those people and minimize that risk.
Protect yourself. I mean, these people may not be trying to hurt you, or they may not even be realizing it, but it is affecting you. And if you have these people in your life, you're not going to be able to really move forward until you cut them out. I know it hurts, but sometimes you got to do what's best for you.
Absolutely. And beyond even protecting yourself, but protecting your why, protecting your family. Honestly, they're not going to contribute to that vision. They're not going to contribute to that dream. And for you to play mental gymnastics to try to figure out a way to work them into whatever that is, whatever it looks like for you, will just slow you down. It'll just slow you down. And if you're not real about it, honestly, you don't have to watch another video from us because you're going to be stuck. You don't have to watch another video from us because your life's not going to look much different a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. So you're going to have to figure it out. You can't change them. People can't change, you know. You can't change other people. People have to want to change.
Right.
That's why you're watching this video. Nobody grabbed your hand and clicked, hey, let's go hear what they're talking about today. You have to want to do that. Yeah. You know, at the very least, meet halfway. So that's the challenge, I guess, for this video. Write out a list, kind of game plan, and like she said, put a comment down below if you'd like for us to talk a little bit more about that. Honestly, but to end on a positive note, if you are able to change these associations and kind of get those things right, man, it's going to be so much easier. It's like big time reduction in resistance, and you know, you get unity going, you get synergy going within your circle, within your, you know, your partners in business or whatever it is that you're trying to do. You know, one can send 1,000 to flight, 2 10,000, right? And so the upside is exponential. So it's worth it. You can do it, and you deserve it,
yeah.
right? You deserve a mental break. You deserve to be able to feel recharged. I mean, imagine just hanging out with someone that you like and feeling good when you leave, right? And that's just where we're trying to get to. It is possible. You can do it.
I think that one of the crazy parts of being an adult is realizing that you get to choose who you hang out with.
It's a beautiful thing.
I mean, you don't have to hang out with the negative people.
That's
you can
true.
just not hang out with them.
You just not do it. It's so simple. It's beautiful. Life is beautiful. Life is beautiful.
To wrap it up, we went over the 3 different kinds of people. There are the people that will help you. Those are the VIPs. The people that don't make too much of a difference, those are the VGPs. And the people that will hurt you, those are the VDPs.
So you can do it. Avoid the pitfalls, game plan, and be very intentional about the relationships and who you allow to associate with you and who you choose to associate with. You got this. Thank you for watching. If you found value in this video, click the like button. And we always welcome interaction, so go ahead and comment down below. Obviously, if you want us to make that second video kind of piggybacking off of this one, let us know. Or if there's any other topics that you would like for us to discuss, feel free to comment that below too.
Be sure also to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell notification so that you are alerted when we upload our new videos. So we'll be trying to upload once a week, and we look forward to seeing you next time.